It has been an amazing 7 years for me. Just an amazing 7 years. I had to serve as the federal co-chair of the Appalachian Regional Commission. I've had this opportunity to serve the President of the United States. A guy with the day he walked into office, the United States was losing 800,000 jobs a month. The domestic auto industry was in the dumper. The question was, would it survive? The Dow Jones was headed towards 6,500. The financial markets were simply a mess. Today, we've had 76 months of consecutive job growth, 12.5 million jobs, the longest consecutive job growth in the history of record keeping in this country. We have a Dow to 20,000. We have 20 million folks who today have health insurance. 20 million folks today who have health insurance because of the Affordable Care Act. The United States of America is one of the world leaders in production of oil and gas. And by the way, the domestic auto market continues to break sales records every year. Pretty amazing to have the opportunity to work for somebody like that. And then in all that, we have a first lady who goes out and digs up the backyard to create a garden where Eleanor Roosevelt had hers. And we all talked about it for 7 years. And really gave us the opportunity to talk about it for 7 years. The Appalachian Regional Commission also had this first-time experience of actually being included in initiatives and ideas of the White House. That our seat on the White House Rural Council gave us a place to argue and talk about Appalachia, to talk about our challenges, to interact and network with the other federal agencies, and to take advantage of those resources. The other half of my experience has been this incredible opportunity to work in part of America that I believe really is the next great investment opportunity in this country. That throughout the region, throughout the 420 counties, that we have this entrepreneurial society. We have these folks who are social entrepreneurs, who are business entrepreneurs, who get up every day and worked incredibly hard to see that their community is a better place for their kids and their grandkids than it was for themselves. You know, these folks don't know each other. The entrepreneurs and the activists in upstate New York and those in northeast Mississippi, they have so much more in common with each other than they have to divide them. It's like an army. It's like an army of folks who do this work. And have the opportunity to be able to engage and learn from these folks has been amazing. And then also within the region, there are assets and emerging opportunities, whether it's in education or manufacturing or tourism or energy, and certainly in agriculture and local food. You know that much better than I do. But the challenge that we share, the challenge that we take on at ARC, that we really share throughout the region. How is it that we make sure that we build the ecosystem so that when opportunities collide with the entrepreneurs, or the entrepreneurs collide with the opportunities, that the likelihood of success is greater, that the likelihood and the ability to succeed extends further into communities and touches more folks and benefits more of the region and provides a larger return on the investment. And that challenge involves making sure and developing the education and workforce that are able to respond and produce and support and aid. It's being able to create and bring together the capital, whether it's through community development financial institutions or angel networks or other means to really have an impact in our communities. or whether it's in the need for support of technical support and services, or marketing, or of course, aggregation, the ability to aggregate what we have, whether it's food or whether it's other activity, to make sure that the impact and our reach is so much further. It really is about networking, and not just networking, but making them partnerships. To be able to take that one step beyond the network, that one step beyond being friends, that one step of understanding what the other person or the other organization is trying to accomplish, but being able to partner and to leverage each other's resources. That's really where the work that is so sustainable occurs. It is encouraging and helping folks to reach a little bit beyond where they're comfortable in grasping. That's where the benefits really occur. That's where the structure happens. And over the years, we have a variety of apparatuses that we try to use and we encourage and we fund to help folks achieve those goals. Early on in this administration, we had the Rural Jobs Accelerator, where we provide some financial support for the West Virginia Food Hub. And it was really about encouraging them to be able to develop a cluster, to develop a food cluster, and to take the resources they had and begin to connect them together. And I think every day we see the benefit of that work, and we see the progress, and we're encouraged by that work. And we have Samantha with us, right? She'll be with us today to talk about some of her work on that area. Local foods, local places. It's something that the ARC was actually engaged in another activity with one of the other agencies around citizen engagement. And when we were done with it, my conclusion was we had done a nice job of sprinkling fairy dust around, but we really, I wanted someone to tell me what we had accomplished. And as we struggled through this conversation, we came to the conclusion that if we're going to do and support citizen engagement, we should have a purpose. We should want to be able to show results. We want to be able to be engaged in a way that had long-lasting effects. And there was a common theme, that it was something that a lot of folks would be interested in, and there was a lot of demand for. And we also felt it was important to have partners in that field, in that conversation, whether it be community colleges or local development districts, but there had to be partners. And as we proceeded with local foods, and we had to have a little bit of money in the game as well, to encourage folks to follow through. And as we proceeded with local foods, local places, it became a national program with about 60 communities. But we were able to hang on, and about 20 of the 60 communities in local foods, local places continued to be within the ARC footprint. And what we were trying to accomplish, what we want to accomplish, we didn't do it everywhere, was to have folks engage in a way in a conversation where they could recognize the linkages that were in their community between health and food, between health and food and communities and education, and how to begin talking to each other about linking them together, about being engaged in a way that helped move and support the aggregation and really the development of a local food economy, and to make local food, make the food system and the ag system a stronger part of a local community. We also have worked, and both of those programs really allowed us to engage with our other federal partners and other federal agencies, not only to help bring funds to the table, but for them to understand the challenges and the opportunities in Appalachia. That all the challenges and opportunities weren't just on the coast, but they're also in the mountains. And we had a lot to share and a lot to give. We also were able to move and engage with our partner states, the 13 states. And it seemed like kind of like not really the type of work that we usually do, but we did. And the development of the concept, the idea of bon appetit, where the 13 state tourist agencies were really the drivers. And they helped and went and they identified a whole variety of enterprises within the states. We developed a map around it. When we first started, the first draft, I shouldn't tell you this, the first draft had a picture of a woman holding a bottle of California wine in front of her. It has taught me to always ask where the pictures come from. The map that we published had, of course, a map of Appalachian wine on the front cover. And the second version of our map had a picture of the Jonesboro community dinner. But the importance of the map wasn't just the map, but it was the networking opportunity that provided the tourist folks and the food folks to talk to each other. The other thing we did, the other thing we recognized that was so important in this work was the ability to increase the capacity of local entrepreneurs to engage and use social media in their enterprises and in their work. And so our folks created something that we called a cookbook